A new homeless center is one step closer for the city of Bakersfield. The Leslie Chance trial enters day 3, and the Children's Miracle Network Day of Giving continues today. This is 17 News at noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. The city of Bakersfield is one step closer to having a new homeless shelter. Last night, 2 possible sites were discussed at a meeting hosted by the city of Bakersfield. The first proposed location would house 450 beds on a 7.5-acre property at 1900 East Brundage Lane. The second proposal would fit 150 beds on a 1.9-acre piece of land on East 18th and Brown Streets in East Bakersfield. Assistant City Manager Jackie Kitchen discussed what would be allowed at the future low-barrier shelter and what would not be.
For Bakersfield, what low barrier would mean is pets, partners, possessions are okay. In terms of can you bring in weapons, can you have open drug use at the facility? No, that is not at all what we're proposing. We don't think that that's safe.
Kitchen said regardless of location, the future site would be fenced and would come with security. Some residents near the proposed sites, though, argue the surrounding community would be affected. Next week's meeting is set for Monday at the MLK Community Center on South Owen Street. It's scheduled for 6 p.m. and the public is encouraged to attend. 17 Court Watch now. Today's day 3 of the Leslie Chance trial. The former elementary school principal is accused of murdering her husband in 2013. This morning, the jury heard testimony from Martha Medina, who witnessed a woman leave Todd Chance's Ford Mustang in a neighborhood in August of 2013. Prosecutors allege Chance killed her husband, abandoned his car, and made her way back home by taxi and walking, changing her clothes along the way. They say she stood to collect on hundreds of thousands of dollars in life insurance policies. The trial is expected to last 2 months. 17's Jason Gutowski is in court as testimony continues, and you can follow along on Twitter for the latest updates on testimony. And we'll have a full recap coming up tonight at 5. All right, checking out that forecast. It started off really foggy out there, Kev. Looks like it's clearing out, though. It is starting to lift a little bit, as you can see from the Adventist Health camera. And earlier this morning, it was dense, and we're already starting to see a little bit of sunshine out there as we take a look at the satellite and radar. Nothing on radar, but definitely seeing some of that fog still lining up to the north. And as we take a look at the temperature, 52 degrees right now. A north-northwest wind at 3 miles per hour. Visibility now at 5 miles. And as we take a look at the temperatures for today, we'll be right near 60, then back into the lower 50s by midnight. For the mountains, 55 degrees right now. Northwest wind at 12. Visibility is good. And as we go throughout the day, we'll start to cool down, and we'll be back into the 40s as we head into about 4 o'clock this afternoon. We're tracking another storm. We'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes. All right, thanks so much, Kev. Due in large part to the consistently generous people of Kern County, the Southern Valley now has a first-class medical facility dedicated solely to pediatric care, a place to take our children when emergencies arise. Here at home, not hundreds of miles away. It's the Lawrence Small Children's Center at Bakersfield Memorial Hospital, a long-standing member of the Children's Miracle Network. Today's our annual Day of Giving for CMN. 17's Jim Scott and Tammy Milchok are once again hosts for this day-long fundraiser. It's been a long day already for you guys, but I hope it's going to be worth it.
Yes, it definitely is, Maddie.
Yeah, this is just like another day for you, right, Maddie? I don't know. This early morning stuff is tough. But
it's tough, but we're energized by the feeling out here and by you calling in.
That's right. We're energized by your generosity. So many people have picked up the phone today and called this number, 336-0500, and they have made their pledges. We could certainly use to hear from you right now if you'd like to pick up that phone and make a pledge to Children's Miracle Network, because every penny that you pledge today stays right here in Kern County at the Lawrence Small Children's Center here at Memorial Hospital.
That's right. The phones have been ringing. Of course, we can always use more donations. We want to give a shout out and a thank you to Michelle Livingston. She donated $20 a month. That's a miracle maker. Thank you, Michelle. We also have miracle makers Anita Garrett, Lisa Valenzuela of Bakersfield, also Guadalupe Negrete and Abby Martinez, all miracle makers. And a thank you to Sherry Rojas for a $30 donation from Wofford Heights. And let's make the phones ring. We have our friends from Chevron here. They are ready to answer your calls. 336-0500. And the miracle makers I just talked about, this teddy bear here, when you pledge to be a miracle maker, one of these wonderful soft stuffed bears from Walgreens will be sent up to a child right now here at the hospital. So please pick up the phone, 336-0500.
Now, every year during our Day of Giving for Children's Miracle Network, we like to give you an update on what has transpired over the past year here at Bakersfield Memorial Hospital. The hospital has a new president and CEO in Ken Keller, and his predecessor, John Van Boning, has left behind a legacy of evolution, I guess you would say here.
Yes.
The build out here at the Lawrence Small Children's Center during John Van Boning's tenure is nothing short of remarkable, and Ken Keller knows and respects the legacy that he's been given.
Start off with, and by the time I left.
Ken Keller has 30 years experience across multiple aspects of the healthcare industry, 15 years at Bakersfield Memorial Hospital. He likes to say he's trilingual.
You have physicians, hospitals, and health plans. Health plans pay for it, physicians deliver it, and hospitals are places where a lot of intensive care takes care of when patients have a health event. And I've had the good fortune on working all three sides of docs.
He's the fourth CEO for a hospital that's 65 years old, with big shoes to fill. His predecessors, John Van Boning and the late Larry Carr, committed to the vision years ago that this hospital would become the premier hospital for medical care for kids in Kern County.
It's also a daunting task to make sure that we take the legacy, the principles, the values, what was built within the community within Bakersfield Memorial Hospital, and continue to advance that.
Over the last decade, the Lawrence Small Children's Center has undergone a remarkable transformation. An expanded neonatal intensive care unit, a new pediatric intensive care unit, a remodeled and expanded pediatric ward, a burn treatment facility, an emergency department just for kids, and a healing garden, a peaceful retreat for young and old.
It's beautiful, it's calming, staff use it, patients use it, patient family members use it.
The numbers confirm the belief that if you build it, they will come. In 2019, more than 38,000 children cared for at Lawrence Small Children's Center. In its first full year of operation, over 35,000 children passed through the doors of the pediatric emergency room. More than 2,500 kids treated within the various pediatric units, from tiny preemies to teens. Keller knows all that's been accomplished so far would never have happened without the generosity of the community and the families that support this hospital and the Children's Miracle Network.
That inspires us to continue to make the investments, to continue to work with our Partner Valley Children's in bringing in the capabilities, the capacity, and the resources to extend what we're doing with pediatrics.
With capital improvements to the Lawrence Small Children's Center now complete, Keller says the focus is on the fusion of new technology, investing in new equipment utilized by trained care providers and support teams to further enhance medical care for kids in Kern County.
So it's that meshing, that interlacing of those three components that will continue to inspire us and continue to advance the level of care that we're committed to the community.
And the Children's Miracle Network is, and always has been, part of that vision.
The Children's Miracle Network is an exceptional organization. The money that we raise through CMN stays here. So thank you for what you do for us. We greatly appreciate it.
And indeed, Ken Keller has inherited quite a legacy. There is one minor capital improvement project we probably ought to talk about just briefly here. They're opening up 2 new sleepover rooms for parents of preemies, the tiniest of little tots that come into this world far too early. But that will help the parents be able to stay here and sleep with their preemies in that sleepover room and then get a feeling of what it's going to be like when that baby's finally released from the Lawrence Small Children's Center and they take them back home.
Yeah, that'll be nice. We definitely need that. We also want to give a shout out to our radio partners today. KGFM 101.5 is out here with us again this year, and we have a new partner. We have 96.9 La Caliente, and I'm told they have already brought in $11,000 through their listeners. So thanks to all of you.
And we want to give a shout out to our own Kevin Charette. You know, he was doing some heavy lifting during the morning cut-ins.
He was.
I think they had like $6,000 called in and pledged to see him in during Kevin Charette's stint here this morning. So, Kevin, we appreciate you. And that's all for now. Maddie, we'll be back in a little bit with more.
All right. Thanks so much, Jim and Tammy. Well, for the past 25 years, it's been the epicenter of giving and compassion in Kern County. And today, local officials officially dubbed the parking lot across from the 17 News Studios Compassion Corner. Through the years, the intersection of 22nd and L Streets has been the site of countless donation drives and barbecue fundraisers for various local nonprofits. In total, $7 million has been raised through our community partnerships. And going forward, KGET has a new partner in Dignity Health. The hospital is committed to providing volunteers for every drive held at Compassion Corner, ensuring the community impact can continue.
Ratings are what tell us we're number one. But what makes us number one is what we do out in the community. And every time I say that, I point towards Compassion Corner, no matter where I am in this city, right? What we do out here is what makes us who we are. So every time one of the giving individuals drives down and for our Compassion Corner fundraisers, they will see the signs of Working in the Spirit of Golden Empire, and then our commemorative street signs that'll go up dedicating this block.
Mayor Karen Go, the Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce, and representatives for Congressman Kevin McCarthy and Assembly members Vince Fong and Rudy Salas were on hand to present KGET General Manager Derek Jeffrey with certificates of recognition. But as Derek points out, we couldn't do what we do without our generous viewers who repeatedly open their wallets and their hearts to better our community in the spirit of the Golden Empire. It was a great morning out there. And speaking of the spirit of the Golden Empire, we still have 6 days left of our annual toy drive. The 17 Days of Christmas toy drive kicked off last week. People have been visiting our KGET lobby, unloading toys, gifts, bicycles, and more. It's all going to benefit children and teens at the Bakersfield Homeless Center and the Boys and Girls Clubs of Kern County. The drive ends December 17th. Until then, you can drop off new unwrapped gifts in our lobby in downtown Bakersfield at 2120 L Street, or you can go directly to either the Homeless Center on Truxton Avenue or the Boys and Girls Club on Niles Street. Christmas is 2 weeks from today, and while TVs are always popular gifts, there's something you should know about the dangers to small children before you take down the tinsel and hang your new one on the wall. And why female pilots and flight attendants are suing Frontier Airlines. Coming up after the break. Welcome back. Started off with a very foggy morning. A little bit of clearing out there now, though. Right, Kev?
Yeah, we're seeing it lift in some areas. Downtown, not too bad. And in fact, we're trying to get the sun to shine on through, and we should be able to do that. But some areas are still kind of socked in. You can see on our camera network, foggy out near Wasco right now. Still hanging on to Arvin. It's trying to clear out there. Mostly sunny on the mountains for Golden Hills. And right now, Frazier Park, mostly sunny and a temperature of 60. Bakersfield and other areas of the valley running into the 50s right now. And we've got 50s and 60s into the mountains, and not a lot happening for us, but we've got the first onset of rain already starting to the north, including near the Bay Area, and we've got plenty of moisture out to the west that'll be pushing on in. Show you this beautiful picture, Yosemite Valley and Half Dome, snow on the peaks, and here's what's to come in the next several days for us. This low is still getting organized. The first onset of the rain is north. This will slowly move south as we get closer to the weekend, and we are expected to pick up a little bit of rain. When we take a look at December so far, just over a half an inch, so we're up about a quarter of an inch. And since January 1st, we picked up over 8 inches, and so we're up over 2 inches. So far looking good. Here's a look at the next storm and what we can expect as I put this into motion. And you can see the bulk of this rain will be in the north, but models want to put around 0.12 of an inch into our area here in Bakersfield. And I'm going to put between 0.05 of a tenth of an inch. Now, we're going to see probably some morning fog again tomorrow. And then skies will clear out on Friday, and then we see that next system arrive on Saturday with the chance of rain. Here's a look at the air quality for you today. Going to be moderate with an AQI at 53 and no burning unless you are registered. And today we'll call for some clearing skies and a mix of sun and clouds. 63 in Bakersfield, 62 in Delano, 61 in Taft. For the mountains and the Kern River Valley, 50 in Frazier Park, 55 in Tehachapi. For the Kern River Valley, we'll be right near 60 with a northwest wind 15 to 25. And then for the desert, we're looking at a northwest wind 10 to 15 and 58 in Mojave. Your extended forecast, and you can see the patchy fog and slight chance of some showers on Saturday for you, but then drying out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then for the mountains, a little bit on the windy side if you're making plans for the weekend with a chance of showers on Saturday. Temperatures will be back into the 40s by Sunday. And then for the Kern River Valley, we'll also be looking at a little bit of a change for the weekend. Temperatures into the 50s as we round out the weekend. But really, the big headline has been the fog.
Yeah, it was kind of scary driving in this morning, honestly.
It might reappear tomorrow morning, so we'll have to watch for that carefully.
All right, thanks so much, Kev.
Yep.
All right, we'll be back after this. We're heading back out to the CMN Day of Giving. Jim and Tammy kicked things off very early this morning at the Lawrence Small Children's Center at Dignity Memorial Hospital, and we still need your help to get to our goal. It's a lofty one, but our community is so generous, and they always show up when we ask them to.
No doubt about that, and we're very hopeful that we will beat last year's total, which was a record total by $1. If we do that, we're going to call it a big win.
Yes.
And we are getting big help from our radio partners today, KGFM 101.5 FM and La Caliente 96.9 FM. They just received a pledge for $3,000, a donation
Amazing.
for $3,000 from farm workers who are associated under Kern County La Cuadrilla.
Yes,
Okay,
they pooled all their money together. That is incredible.
You just missed it. There was a big uproar here
Yes.
just moments ago. But we're all about enhancing medical care so that kids who are sick and injured and in need of emergency medical care can stay right here at home in Kern County and not have to travel hours away to another hospital. And right now we have that in the Lawrence Small Children's Center.
That's right. And as always, there are some big ticket wish list items, especially in the NICU department. And one of those is the Hamilton G5. And joining me now, we have Sean Patterson, and it's good to have you with us. You are the Director of Respiratory Therapy here at Memorial Hospital.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right, this is the Hamilton G5. Before we talk more about this and the price tag on this, there are 5 machines over here.
Correct.
And basically this one takes the place of all these. So starting on the outside, what do these machines do?
So as we start from the outside in, the last one is an oxygen device. So if the child needs just a little bit of support, they would have some oxygen. Attached to that device, though, is actually the device that we use to give breathing treatments. So if they need breathing treatments and oxygen, it's that device. The second one as well is a different type of oxygen device. Then as we move in, we have different types of more respiratory support where we can actually help the baby breathe. We can give them some positive pressure ventilation to actually push the oxygen in for them as well. So as we move down, this one's even more advanced. It gives higher levels of support. And then this was our current ventilator before the Hamilton. This is the old ventilator that we have. So if the baby has to have the breathing tube, if they can't breathe on their own at all, then they would be put on the ventilator. The nice thing now having the Hamilton is all of these devices that you see in front of you, these devices are all rolled into one small package in the Hamilton.
And that's nice. And we're talking about preemies, really tiny babies, and also just the size of the room. I can't imagine having all of these machines be in there. And then also the time it takes and the precious moments in switching those out. That can't be good.
No, it cannot. So dependent upon the patient and how sick they are, they may start on one device and move towards a higher level of care, or they may actually start with the ventilator and then move down. But the NICU beds are fairly small, and we have very small patients, as small as 1 pound. So when you have a very small patient in a very small space, it's very difficult to get multiple pieces of equipment in and out. So when we can have one piece of equipment that does everything, then that makes it more convenient for the patient. It's much safer and more efficient for the baby.
All right. And tell us about what does this machine do exactly and the price tag on this?
So this is the Hamilton G5. This machine will do everything that we just looked at. It will provide all levels of respiratory support, from the smallest support all up to the ventilator. So it will do all of it, but it will do it better. So it does everything, but it actually does it better and more efficiently. Some of our ventilators are up to 16 years old. This is the newest technology, so it's much safer, it's much smoother for the patients as well. So over the last 16 years, they've come up with ways to actually more easily and more smoothly give the babies their breathing, so it doesn't harm their lungs any more than they already are. So this will do it safer and better. But it does come with a price tag. It's $37,000.
All right. And we'd be happy if we can get enough for 2 of those.
We would.
All right.
We would.
Sean, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. All right. Make the phones ring. We want to buy at least 2 of those because as you heard the importance of that, you just can't put a price tag on it. 336-0500 is the number to call, or you can text KGET to 51555.
You know, I remember back when the neonatal intensive care unit was the focal point of our Children's Miracle Network Day of Giving. And back then we were talking about getting an oscillating ventilator, but that was like 15 years ago.
A long time ago.
And so the whole deal is here, we're just, the nurses and the doctors here at Lawrence Small Children's Center want to bring the best that technology has to offer to bear so that we can improve medical outcomes for children here who are brought here in an emergency.
Yes, and we want them to stay here in Kern County. That's
right.
the biggest.
All right, so we'll be back with an update in a couple of minutes. 336-0500 is the number to call if you believe in this mission. We'll be back in a little bit.
All right. right, big celebration there. We'll find out what that was all about coming up in just a moment. We're back after this.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Back now on your 17 Business Watch. Stocks rise today after the Fed signals no rate hikes in 2020. The Dow's up just a fraction of a point. The NASDAQ up 33 points and the S&P 500 up 6. A group of female pilots and flight attendants are suing their employer, Frontier Airlines. The women claim the Denver-based airline discriminated against them during pregnancy or while breastfeeding. The airline says it has strong policies in place to support and accommodate pregnant and lactating mothers within the bounds of public safety. When we come back here on 17 News at noon, it's a partnership 20 years in the making, and it's making a big difference in the lives of local families. We'll tell you how you can be part of the legacy of the Lawrence Small Children's Center after this. Welcome back. It is the CMN Day of Giving. KGET partnering with them once again to make miracles happen. Let's check back in with Jim and Tammy one more time here at noon and hear what we need to do to help.
Okay. Good afternoon, Maddie. It's been a lively day out here, and the noise that you heard right when we tossed back to you before, that was the farm workers here putting $3,000.
That's right.
Into the incubator over there to help with this CMN.
That's Kern County La Quadria. La Quadria,
so yes.
That's their organization.
Amazing,
and
yes.
Just gave that to La Caliente, 96.9 FM.
That is amazing. We'll also give a shout out to Rosalba Hernandez, a $20 pledge in Bakersfield. From Lost Hills, Jaime Cuevas with a $50 pledge. Also, Elodio Aguirre, $30 pledge. And Sarah Burns from Bakersfield with $300 pledge today. Thank you so much.
All right, we got another very exciting moment here. Gina Pettit is the Community Engagement Advisor for Chevron. And this morning, you put up a match. You were going to match as much money as we raised in the 5 o'clock hour. And you have a check presentation for us.
Yes, sir. I have a check here for $20,000 from Chevron, the San Joaquin Valley Business Unit here in Kern County. And we're proud to support the Children's Miracle Network and the families here. Chevron's been a part of this community for over 100 years, and we're proud to be able to support the Children's Miracle Network.
All right, Gina, thank you so much. They're giving us a wrap, so we appreciate you. We appreciate our friends from Chevron over on the phone bank.
Wow. 336-0500 is the number to call if you want to help out.
Maddie, we'll send it back to you. We'll be back at 5 and 6 tonight to wrap this up. Back to you.
Fantastic. All because of the giving of our generous viewers. We'll see you back here with a wrap-up of the CMN Day of Giving coming up tonight at 5.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.